The cemetery is a place where people come to pay their respects to those who have passed away. But buried within these grounds, there are stories that have been forgotten with time. Today, we'll be telling the story of the forgotten soldier. His name was John, and he was a soldier who fought for his country in the American Civil War. He was one of the thousands of soldiers who lost their lives during the war, and his story is a reminder of the sacrifices made by so many. Think about how many soldiers that have served in all of the wars, and have a good or sad story to tell. Band of Brothers is a very good TV show that tell real stories and don't just show the men gunning each other down, but how life was under the war, and what thoughts they had. John was just like any other soldier. He had dreams and aspirations, but those were cut short when he was killed in action. His body was buried in a cemetery, and his name was recorded on a headstone. But over time, his story was forgotten, and his grave was left to decay. Years passed, and the cemetery became overgrown with weeds and trees. John's grave was hidden under a layer of dirt and leaves. But one day, a group of volunteers decided to clean up the cemetery and restore it to its former glory. The volunteers worked tirelessly, and as they cleared away the debris, they stumbled upon John's grave. They saw that his headstone was damaged and his name had faded away. But they knew that they had to do something to honor the memory of the forgotten soldier. The volunteers repaired John's headstone and made sure that his name would never be forgotten again. They placed a flag on his grave and held a small ceremony in his honor. John's story is just one of many. There are countless soldiers who have been forgotten over time. But it's up to us to make sure that their sacrifices are never forgotten. We must remember the stories of those who came before us and honor their memory in any way we can. Rest in peace, John, and thank you for your service.